Plus, the Zheng family is truly facing a great disaster this time. Qin Fei smiled knowingly. He understood that the Zheng family was in trouble. After all, with the reporters frantically reporting on the situation, everyone was calling for the Zheng family to be punished. With a tarnished reputation, it seemed the Zheng family could no longer survive in Hong Kong and might have to emigrate. All of this was caused by him, and he had added fuel to the fire, leading to the current outcome. He feigned curiosity and confusion, saying, "Mr. Zheng, what's wrong? Even if the Hong Kong real estate market doesn't rise and stay stagnant, it shouldn't affect your Zheng family too much. Buying the dip wouldn't lead to losses, at most. You just want to make money. But it's not just about that. Whether we make money or not is irrelevant. The most important thing is that some people in Hong Kong are causing trouble. These excited, ordinary people are extremely agitated. The Zheng family's villa had already been found by people who splashed paint on it, and their door was covered in black dog blood. Some even placed voodoo dolls in front of their door. As this situation escalated, the Zheng family could no longer sit still. None of the four major families were superstitious. Now that they were being targeted like this, they were terrified and truly felt cornered. "Young Master Qin, please, I should have listened to you. I shouldn't have tried to drive up the Hong Kong real estate market. Only your TVB can help me now. Whatever you ask me to do, I will agree. Young Master Qin, please help." Qin Fei really didn't want to help, but he had little enmity with the Zheng family. Glancing at his penguin stock, he thought of something and couldn't help but speak. "Mr. Zheng, I can help you, but actually, one of my invested company stocks is listing today. The penguin stock. Right now, it's only at 155 Hong Kong dollars and can't even break 160 Hong Kong dollars. There are too few buyers, making it hard to sell." Upon hearing this, the Zheng family immediately responded, "Mr. Qin, I will help you promote it right now. I guarantee your company's stock will break through 160 Hong Kong dollars." The strength of the four major families was still considerable, and Qin Fei was certainly willing to believe them. Since the other party was so cooperative, he didn't hesitate and continued. "In that case, Mr. Zheng, please prepare 20 billion Hong Kong dollars. 30 billion Hong Kong dollars is also acceptable. At that time, we will do a charity promotion, donating 10 billion Hong Kong dollars to TVB, and the remaining 20 billion Hong Kong dollars will be used to help ordinary people in Hong Kong rent houses." The head of the Zheng family felt as if his heart was bleeding, but he knew that this money had to be taken out to avoid disaster. "If we don't spend money, our villa will continue to be splashed with paint and have voodoo dolls placed. With over 10 members of our family, we have no way to survive in Hong Kong, and directly giving up our assets here is something we definitely don't want." He knew that Qin Fei intended to scam some of money, and the supposed donation of 10 billion Hong Kong dollars to TVB was clearly aimed at filling the other party's pockets. However, he couldn't say anything now as he was the one asking for help. He could only agree, looking helpless. I understand. Let me prepare the money now. Mr. Qin, what should we do?" Qin Fei had already thought this through and said lightly, "Once the money is ready, I will have TVB do a report for you, stating that the prices of your properties will remain stable. At the same time, the 20 billion Hong Kong dollars will be donated to those who cannot afford to rent houses, compensating these people for their rent. This way, we can ensure that no one continues to target you." Hearing Qin Fei's promise, the head of the Zheng family finally felt at ease and repeatedly expressed his gratitude. "Thank you, Mr. Qin. Thank you so much, Mr. Qin." Qin Fei hung up the phone, beaming with joy. Earning 10 billion so easily was indeed exhilarating. The four major families are truly wealthy, asking the other party for 30 billion Hong Kong dollars without any hesitation. It seems that even if he had asked for 50 billion Hong Kong dollars, the other party would have agreed. Now, he had prepared the funds at the Zheng family and, after contacting TVB, invited the Zheng family to the television station to start a wave of charity. The news of 20 billion helping ordinary people would definitely help to silence a lot of the complaints against the Zheng family. Meanwhile, the stocks he invested in, under the internal promotion of the Zheng family, had risen from 155 Hong Kong dollars to 160 Hong Kong dollars. This was the most satisfying part. In just this short time, the stocks in his hands had increased in value, and the first wave of stocks sold after going public was worth around 150 billion Hong Kong dollars. After deducting some taxes and the company's internal dividends, he still had 80 billion Hong Kong dollars in hand. He made a quick profit of 80 billion Hong Kong dollars, and investing in Penguin was indeed the right move. He happily called the CEO of Penguin to inform them about the company selling for 150 billion Hong Kong dollars. When the news reached Mr. Ma, he was also very excited. Mr. Qin, if it weren't for you, we wouldn't have been able to go public. This time, it's all thanks to you. Haha, following Mr. Qin was indeed the right choice. Our company's team is planning a celebration. Mr. Qin is the faith of our company. Qin Fei smiled, knowing that this success was related to the performance within Penguin. The other party had worked hard, which led to the good results now. Otherwise, a company without strength would find it very difficult to raise its stock price. He continued smiling, saying, "This is all a result of the company's collective efforts. Tell the employees that I'll cover the celebration dinner, and everyone will receive a bonus based on their performance." Originally, the bonus would be multiplied by 10. A tenfold bonus was still needed. After all, wages in the mainland were originally low. Even if they gave a tenfold bonus, it was still just a small amount. He had made hundreds of billions this time. It was only right to reward the employees. This would help them remember him as a big boss in Hong Kong. Mr. Ma gave the orders, and he was also very happy. After all, this time the dividends that came to him were also in the hundreds of billions. He could finally hold his head high, becoming a billionaire in the mainland. With assets of 10 billion renminbi in 2008 mainland China, he could truly be considered a wealthy magnate. If he sold all his shares, he could have assets of over 100 billion renminbi. With a net worth of over 100 billion renminbi, he could enter the top 100 of the mainland's rich list. Chapter 93. The gaming industry is profitable. Ma Huatian is indeed wealthy, having made a fortune alongside Qin Fei. He is very pleased, but in reality, he could have earned even more without Qin Fei's help. Nonetheless, he is grateful for reaching a net worth of over 10 billion and views Qin Fei as a confidant. If it weren't for Qin Fei's investment in their company, providing him with Penguin Chat and funding for games, they wouldn't be where they are today. When it comes to company development, he plans to expand significantly and acquire several games, focusing on developing Penguin games. He understands that online gaming will be at its peak after 2008. He wants to seize this opportunity and invest heavily in game development. Mr. Qin, I believe gaming is our future. Just look at the revenue generated by our developed Penguin Poker and Dodiju. They can create substantial income. With the internet's evolution, we are definitely entering a golden age for online games. I plan to increase our investments in the gaming company and acquire an office building to serve as our Penguin Games headquarters. Upon hearing about the office building, Qin Fei thought of something and smiled as he made a suggestion. That's perfect. I bought a piece of land in Beishan. When the time comes, I'll allocate part of it to establish a game company building for Penguin Games as our headquarters. For game development, we will continue to focus on various mini-games like Dodiju, Mahjong, and others. Don't underestimate the revenue from these mini-games. They're the foundation of Penguin. In the future, they will have the highest traffic in gaming. From 2008 to 2020, countless online games have risen and fallen, but the Penguin mini-games have remained unshaken. Dodiju is still played by many. Over a decade of development has made Penguin mini-games irreplaceable. To say that mini-games don't generate revenue is a joke. The game currency in these mini-games also requires spending money to recharge, and that money contributes to Penguin's revenue, representing a significant income. Hearing Qin Fei's words, Ma Huatian finally confirmed the direction with Qin Fei's commitment to the company headquarters office building. He began recruiting some capable IT staff, determined to become a giant in the online gaming industry. In fact, many other online gaming companies have already developed, with several major gaming giants emerging. If Penguin doesn't step up, they will truly be pressed underfoot. Ma Huatian is very clear that this opportunity, once missed, will be gone. Right now, companies like Shengda and Wani have impressive gaming revenue figures. Mr. Qin, I want to become a gaming giant. We need more investment. To capture users in online gaming, we require stronger promotion. I plan to invest over 50 billion renminbi in future game advertising. 50 billion is indeed a lot, but it is absolutely necessary to spend. Qin Fei also agrees with the strong promotion. Without spending money, how can we compete with certain big companies? Qin Fei generously said, "All right, I'll initially invest 10 billion renminbi into the company as initial funding for game advertising. You can proceed without worrying about the finances. With these words, the other party felt at ease to engage in a money-burning war with the other two major gaming companies. When burning money with Qin Fei, it depends on whether the two companies can withstand it. He can earn over 10 billion Hong Kong dollars in minutes from the Hong Kong stock market. Spending 10 billion renminbi is nothing to him, and he feels no pain at all. Even if Ma Huat-en incurs losses, he can still inject another 10 billion renminbi. He can afford to burn money because he knows that the market for online gaming is a massive cake worth far more than just a few hundred billion RMB in assets. After all, looking at the entire world, which industries are the most profitable? The number one industry is not finance or any physical industry, but the gaming industry. The gaming and entertainment industry is the world's top money-making industry, surpassing finance. After all, there are countless gamers worldwide who are willing to spend money. In 2008, a game could generate hundreds of billions of RMB in revenue in a month without any problem. Yes, that's hundreds of billions of RMB in monthly revenue. Some games could reach trillions of RMB in revenue within a year. How could Qin Fei not seize this piece of cake? Precisely because the gaming cake is so large. He wants to increase his investment, injecting 10 billion renminbi into Penguin's company account. This time, the game money-burning development plan has officially begun. In the afternoon, with some rare free time, thanks to Penguin Company's listing and earning a substantial amount of money. Even after investing 10 billion renminbi in Penguin Games and needing another 1 billion renminbi for building the Penguin Tower, the profits he made from Penguin stocks far exceed these figures. Having made money, it's time to indulge a little. Qin Fei invited Qin Yao, Yang Yi, and several popular actresses from TVB, along with people from Qin's entertainment company, to throw a yacht party. They invited over 100 people to enjoy a trip on his luxurious Las Vegas yacht. On board, they also hired a top chef and beautiful waitresses who served the guests. On the deck, there was an array of lavish buffet food and expensive drinks. When some guests boarded the yacht, they were utterly amazed. They were thrilled to receive an invitation from Qin Fei to board this luxurious gambling ship in Las Vegas. Now, as Qin Fei's private gambling ship, it is not something that ordinary people can get an invitation to. After all, the people Qin Fei invited were either TVB's current popular actresses. A total of 20 actresses or senior staff members from TVB, totaling about 50 people plus 30 senior management from Qin's entertainment company. The limited spots made those who didn't receive an invitation envious. However, those who received an invitation felt proud as they boarded the yacht. In Hong Kong, even having some assets makes it hard to enjoy a yacht trip. The cost for a yacht outing is at least tens of millions of HKD. Who can afford that? Yet Qin Fei covers all expenses, allowing everyone to enjoy themselves to the fullest. How could they not be excited? Wow, Mr. Qin's yacht is so big. If we could film a drama here, it would look amazing. Indeed, this yacht is one of the 3 famous gambling ships owned by the Gambling King. And it has appeared in movies, so its fame is not small. Thanks to Mr. Qin for letting us enjoy the yacht. Otherwise, I would never have this opportunity in my life. The 3 popular TV drama actresses chatted animatedly as soon as they boarded the yacht. Although they have considerable fame in TVB and are idols for many television viewers, compared to Qin Fei, they're just a group of lesser-known figures. So what if they earn over 1 million HKD a year? This luxurious yacht is something they're seeing for the first time, and they are thrilled to be here. Their eyes drawn to a figure not far away. The 3 actresses were visibly excited and approached him directly to greet him. Mr. Qin, thank you for inviting us to enjoy the yacht. Is this really Las Vegas? I've heard about it before, but this is the first time I've truly seen it. Mr. Qin, you're amazing. Hee. The Zheng family has donated 10 billion Hong Kong dollars to our TVB. All thanks to you. Absolutely. We're the 4 major families compared to you, Mr. Qin. You alone can match them. And even the Zheng family has to curry favor with us. Qin Fei smiled calmly and said, you ladies are our TVB's cash cows. If we don't invite you, who else should we invite? Here, feel free to ask the chef for whatever you like to eat. Just let them know it's for me. And if you're not satisfied with anything, you can tell me. Qin Fei's words brightened the 3 actresses' faces, filling them with joy. The food on the ship was enough for them to enjoy, not to mention that Qin Fei had invited a chef, who was ranked number 1 in the culinary world of Xinjiang, known as the culinary god, Fan Xiang. He had come at Qin Fei's request specifically to bring his apprentice and help cook. As soon as he boarded the ship with his team of apprentices, he greeted Mr. Qin, a well-known figure in Xiangjiang, repeatedly. "Hello, Mr. Qin and ladies," he said. "Mr. Qin, this is my first time collaborating with you. I believe that with your strength, we will continue to work together in the future. Leave the food on your ship to me, and no matter what fresh ingredients you have, I can cook them to the best flavor." Qin Fei laughed heartily, having high hopes for this culinary master. He had heard a lot about Fan Xiang's reputation in the Xiangjiang food scene. To invite him over, he had spent 5 million Hong Kong dollars on hiring him. This did not include some ingredient costs, which were calculated separately. The other party's reputation was worth this price. Now, Fan Xiang's attitude towards him was extremely respectful, especially since the media in Xiangjiang knew that he was against the 4 major families. He had disrupted their plans, causing the property market in Xiangjiang to stagnate without any increase. After all these years, who could defeat the 4 major families? The culinary god, aware of this, looked at Qin Fei with admiration, which made Qin Yao, who was watching, feel delighted. With a radiant smile, she said, "Brother, look how much the culinary god admires you. By the way, can we invite him to cook for us often? I really like his cooking. That bowl of golden fried rice he made before was so delicious." Qin Yao instantly took a liking to him, prompting Qin Fei to gently pat her head and affectionately say, "If you like him, I can let him be our family chef." Qin Yao's eyes lit up with happiness. She knew that Qin Fei was definitely not just saying it. With Mr. Qin Fei's capital, he was absolutely qualified to invite the culinary god to be the private chef of his villa. It was just a matter of negotiation. A daily fee of 2 million Hong Kong dollars would add up to nearly 800 million Hong Kong dollars a year, just under 1 billion Hong Kong dollars, which he could afford to spend for his sister's happiness. The atmosphere on the Las Vegas ship was lively as the culinary god showcased his cooking skills, demonstrating techniques that one could only see in movies. The people on the ship were amazed, taking out their phones to capture and record this wonderful moment. Chapter 94. Only by working together can we soar high. Before long, several uninvited guests arrived at the yacht. The 4 major families learned that Qin Fei was hosting a yacht party, and they came over without an invitation. Upon seeing Qin Fei, Mr. Zheng, the head of the Zheng family, approached with a happy expression. After all, TVB had promoted his charity and the issue of ordinary people renting houses, which had significantly changed the situation for the Zheng family. They were no longer being targeted, and some people began to praise the Zheng family for their ability to correct their mistakes. Now, at the Zheng family's doorstep, no one was vandalizing or slandering them, and the Zheng family sighed in relief, knowing that it was all thanks to Qin Fei. "Qin Xiao, thank you for your help this time. You had TVB broadcast the news, and the turmoil in our Zheng family has stopped," Mr. Zheng said gratefully. "If I had known earlier, I should have listened to Qin Xiao. This time, the rise in the Hong Kong real estate market is my fault." The Zheng family took the initiative to apologize to Qin Fei, trying to curry favor, which made Qin Yao, who was beside him, feel proud. Her gaze swept over to a few people behind the Zheng family. Li Chaoren's expression was awkward. He was in a tough position this time. The Zheng family had shed some people, and part of the blame had turned directly toward him. Everyone knew that the Li family was the most notorious in real estate. Li Chaoren had built his fortune on this. Now, under attack, many people suspected that the rise in the real estate market was instigated by him. To make matters worse, those who had vandalized the Zheng family had now turned to the Li family, splattering paint and slandering them at their villa. Li Chaoren drove to the company early in the morning, only to find that several luxury cars in the garage had all their tires punctured. Even more ridiculous, when he tried to hail a taxi, the driver refused to take him upon seeing him. Li Chaoren was furious. His family was truly being targeted by everyone. Now, he had no choice but to seek help from Qin Fei. He couldn't afford to lose his composure. Upon noticing Qin Fei, he hurriedly approached and presented a prepared gift, an empty check from the Li family, which could be filled with any amount. He handed it over and ingratiatingly said, "Mr. Qin, I was wrong about the past. I know you can help the Zheng family, and you can also help our Li family. Please, Qin Xiao, help us this time. If this continues, we won't be able to survive in Hong Kong." Qin Fei glanced at the empty check, sneering. Did he really lack such a worthless piece of paper? Moreover, even if it was an empty check, there was a limit. At most, it could be filled out for 1 billion Hong Kong dollars. Wasn't that looking down on him? Looking down on his TVB? The Zheng family had offered 30 billion Hong Kong dollars to resolve their issues. And now, the Li family thought they could solve their problems with just 1 billion Hong Kong dollars? With a cold laugh, he replied, without even looking at the check, Mr. Li, the rise in the Hong Kong real estate market was caused by you. Now that you want to turn the situation around, it can't be that simple. Mr. Zheng spent 30 billion Hong Kong dollars to resolve it, and you offer me a 1 billion Hong Kong dollars check. What do you mean by that? For a moment, Li Chaoren was at a loss for words, while the other families looked at him with disdain. The Zheng family also felt that the Li family was too stingy. This incident had cost the four major families thousands of billions of HKD, and to resolve it, Mr. Zheng was willing to offer 30 billion Hong Kong dollars. Once the issue was settled, he could minimize his losses, but the Li family thought they could solve their problems with just 1 billion Hong Kong dollars? That was simply too miserly. Li Chaoren's face turned pale, realizing that Qin Fei was unwilling to help. Gritting his teeth, he could only lower his head and excuse himself, leaving in disgrace. Watching Li Chaoren leave, Qin Yao pouted. She didn't think her brother had done anything wrong. She didn't want to help the Li family with any publicity. They were definitely the masterminds behind this. Why should they help others clear their name? Qin Yao pouted and said, Humph, that Li Chaoren is too despicable. He did this, and now he wants to wash his hands of it. It's not that simple. Countless people in Hong Kong have suffered because of them. The other three major families nodded in agreement. Now they had found a scapegoat and immediately pushed all the blame onto the Li family. The other three families, looking heartbroken, spoke up. The young lady is right. This is all because of Li Chaoren. If it weren't for him, we wouldn't have raised the Hong Kong real estate market. It was all his idea that it would definitely rise. Indeed, we actually wanted to invest in Hong Kong stocks, raise the Hang Seng Index, and save it again. But Mr. Li insisted that we buy up properties and land. They pointed out that the Li family had stockpiled a lot of land, and they had bought it at high prices. This time, with the real estate market stagnant, the Li family suffered the most losses. The blame was directed firmly at the Li family, and the three major families were filled with hatred. Qin Fei watched this unfold, understanding the hypocrisy of the four major families. If one were to say what was the most hypocritical in the world, it would be capital. When there were profits, everyone was good friends, good brothers, as close as blood relatives. But once problems arose, especially with profit issues, it became clear. Brothers turned against each other, and they hated each other to the bone. The three major families directly stabbed the Li family hard, pushing all the blame onto them. Qin Fei pretended to be confused, putting on a pained expression, and said, the Li family is too despicable. This time, I absolutely must find reporters to expose this through TVB. The few of US who did not collude with the Li family have done well. We should stabilize the Hong Kong real estate market and not let it rise. The three major families nodded earnestly. Yes, Mr. Qin is right. The Li family is going to face retribution. They are too inhumane. I fully support Mr. Qin in exposing them. The Li family has done many things that we all know about, and I am willing to let it be known. Mr. Qin, we are absolutely on your side. From today on, we will not collude with the Li family. The three major families were all willing to support him in exposing the Li family. Once Qin Fei reached an agreement, he asked the three major families to gather information on the Li family's actions and then have TVB report it. After all, once the Li family fell, the other three families would benefit. He was no exception. Now that they had teamed up, they began to plot against the Li family. This time, the Li family's good days were over. While continuing to enjoy the yacht, Qin Fei chatted and laughed with the three major families, discussing the Hong Kong real estate market and stock market issues. Soon, the conversation turned to the properties in Beijing. They really don't understand Beijing. Even some big families in the mainland don't know much about it. They only know that Beijing has developed significantly. They didn't expect Beijing to develop so rapidly, exceeding their imagination. They have also seen the special report on Qin Yao by TVB and know that Qin Fei has acquired several plots of land in Beijing, which has attracted the interest of the three big families for investment. They are absolutely skilled in real estate development and know that Qin Fei's land acquisition must lack funds for development. The three big families immediately started to speak up. Qin Xiao, we heard that you bought several plots of land in Beishan and want to develop a commercial area. At that time, whether it's building a skyscraper or shops and office buildings, it will require a lot of funds. Yes, even just to attract some businesses will need people for promotion. We are actually very willing to help with promotion and investment. We have thought it over and are willing to invest 100 billion renminbi into the land you acquired for joint development. How does that sound? The three big families are willing to invest in themselves, which is better than anything else. After all, it's very difficult to develop the land well on one's own. Even if it's built, attracting investment is still needed. To make this piece of land lively, a lot of commercial occupancy and promotion are required, which all involve substantial funds. The three big families help solve this problem, as they are the most experienced in land and commercial area development. They are thinking about establishing several commercial buildings on their land. How could Qin Fei possibly refuse? He laughed and readily agreed. This is just perfect. I was worried about how to build the houses and attract some businesses to boost the popularity of our development area. With the help of the three families, I believe the land I bought will definitely be bustling. The level of activity will surely surpass that of the Wanda brand. His Qin's commercial plaza is not bad either. With the investment from the three big families, it's impossible for Qin's commercial plaza not to thrive. After chatting, they signed a contract and reached an agreement, laughing and joking as if they were old friends. The three big families did not underestimate Qin Fei because of his youth. After all, this young man is now a true leader in Xianjiang. They can only follow behind Qin Fei to soar high. If they go against Qin Fei, the outcome will definitely be tragic, and the Li family is the best example. The Li family, which has detached from the group, only has one outcome. Chapter 95. The Li family's asset transfer and immigration inside the Li family villa. As soon as Li Chaoren returned, he saw the TVB news report that he never expected. This time, the report featured the other three major families, expressing their willingness to establish a Hong Kong real estate alliance to jointly resist the rising property prices in Hong Kong. Moreover, to stabilize the rent in Hong Kong, they proposed the establishment of a foundation called the Qin Assistance Fund. The purpose of the foundation is to stabilize the rent prices in Hong Kong, prohibit landlords from arbitrarily raising rents, and provide affordable public rental housing for the poor. This left Li Chaoren in shock, his face pale and trembling all over. He understood that this time, the Li family had been abandoned. These three major families had truly united with Qin Fei, completely discarding the Li family. Following this, TVB specifically released an interview with the leaders of the three major families. This group blamed the rise in Hong Kong's real estate prices entirely on him, directly stating that the Li family had purchased many properties at high prices last week. Their purpose was to profit from this rise in the real estate market. They claimed that the Li family was the culprit and the greatest beneficiary. Mr. Zheng from the Zheng family expressed deep sorrow, his acting skills rivaling many stars in Hong Kong. We in the Zheng family didn't know how much the Hong Kong real estate market affected ordinary people. We were deceived by the Li family. Li Chaoren made us follow him to inflate the Hong Kong real estate market, and we inadvertently went along with him. In fact, the Li family was the one who profited the most. Li Chaoren felt like he was about to vomit blood. This news broadcast felt like the three major families were roasting their family over a fire. As the news broke, the internet erupted with many comments. Many people criticized the Li family and began recounting his past misdeeds. Numerous individuals hurled insults online, and the reputation of the Li family plummeted. All the blame fell onto Li Chaoren. Looking at the online vitriol, Li Chaoren felt dizzy and nearly collapsed. The Li family, which started from scratch, relied on Hong Kong's real estate. How many properties were scooped up at low prices and then sold at high prices? Post 1. Indeed, the Li family was like that. They bought your properties at 10,000 HKD per square meter and sold them for 100,000 HKD per foot. Post 10. The Li family has done this more than once or twice. They went from a net worth of hundreds of millions to trillions of HKD, driving the entire Hong Kong real estate market up. Post 100. The Li family should get out of Hong Kong. Without them, the real estate prices wouldn't be this high. Post 101. The Lee family should leave Hong Kong.